Today I'm going to share with you 5 mistakes that new FBA sellers make and how you can avoid them. Stay tuned to the end because I'm going to give you a 6th bonus mistake that you can avoid. Hi, I'm Adele. I'm a mom of 2. I live in Surrey and I am using Amazon FBA to build my wealth, and I'd love for you to join my journey. So let's dive right in. Mistake number 1 is sourcing from the likes of eBay or Alibaba. While it's super tempting when you see the low price and the amount of margin you can make, it is just not worth it. There's no way of proving the products you are buying are not counterfeit, and if you get 1 complaint, 2 complaints, your account could be suspended, and you don't want that to happen as a new seller because you've got no history to fall back on to get Amazon to reopen your case. Mistake number 2 is going into private label too soon. A lot of people aim to go into private label. So for those of you who don't know, private label is when you will source a product generally from China that's unique to the market, and you will brand it as your own, and you'll create your own Amazon listing, and then you will use generally advertising to get traffic through to that listing. It seems to be a goal for a lot of Amazon FBA sellers to get into private label. The trouble with that is it costs you a lot of money. So you really need to be a seller that kind of knows the game and how to play it. So I would definitely say if you are aiming to go into private label, make sure you do the groundwork with normal retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, maybe wholesale, those sorts of things, so you really get an idea of how Amazon works and how to make your product do well and stand out from the rest. Number 3 is broken up into 2 parts. Part number 1 is expecting too much. A lot of people go into Amazon FBA thinking that this is going to be the answer to all their problems. It's going to give them all the money in the world. They're going to be sipping margaritas on a yacht. And while that may be the case, it's not going to happen overnight. It is something that you have to work towards. Amazon FBA is not one of those overnight success strategies that you can use, but what it is a solid, good foundational way for you to have good income and maybe get that yacht one day, but it's not going to happen within the first 6 to 12 months. Okay, you do really need to work on it. And then the second part of it is giving up too soon, because once you've expected too much and you realize that it is hard work, you kind of step back and go, gosh, do I really want to be doing this right now? It is so hard. And I know I've hit a slump. I can be honest, like my 5th month or my 6th month was pretty terrible because I got too complacent and I didn't put the work in, and it shows in my numbers. So I would say don't give up, just keep going. Make sure that you are doing things to keep your sanity, but definitely don't quit because it gets so good. And this leads right into number 4, and that's don't do it alone. It's so easy to think that you can just graft away and you'll turn it into something, but I have found, in my experience at least, that being in a group of a like-minded community of people doing this thing day in and day out, they not only give you really good advice and tips and things that you didn't think of or solving problems that you face, but they are also a source of motivation. You can see how well they're doing. You can see how people rally around each other. If someone's not having a great month, they'll give them tips on how to improve that month, and it's just really good. So I'd say don't do it alone. As much as you might be tempted to, there is a lot to be said for the Facebook communities or the Discord groups or whichever avenue you want to use. But it's definitely worth just finding your little community of Amazon FBA sellers. Then tip number 5 is spending money you don't have. Now this is a tricky one because I know it's easy to say, well, I'll make that money back, and you probably will, especially if you do work hard, but there is a chance you might not. And I would hate for you to walk out of this experience with a bad taste in your mouth. This could be something that could grow and sustain your family. I'm seeing really nice results so far, and if you'd like to see a results video, let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to do one. But I'm seeing really good, consistent results so far, and I'd like that for you. And I find from what I've seen in the communities and things like that, if people are spending too much too soon, they tend to make mistakes. Maybe they get too cocky, maybe they buy a product that they think will be good, or they'll buy too much of a product before testing it. So just be cautious if you are thinking of going down that route. I'm obviously not a financial expert and I cannot give financial advice, but I would just say think twice before making any of those big money decisions. So those are the 5 mistakes, and I promised you a 6th bonus mistake to avoid, and that is don't overthink it. Far too many people sit on the fence for far too long when you could just jump and join me on my journey. I'm only 6 months in, so you can come along and we can do this together. Just go get started. You can do it. And if there's anything else you'd like me to cover or any mistakes that you've found, drop it in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.